trying to get it down has just resulted in this, which is so fashionable. So much unnecessary poof. Dear good everyone, welcome back to my sitting room. My name is Diesel and you are as always most welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing a book. That book is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. It is the first book in the Anna series and it's a paranormal book, which, you know, it's not always like happy fun times. I read this one mostly in the daylight though, so it wasn't too bad. Anyway, let's get on with it. There's so much movement in this house that I'm probably being haunted as we speak. So what's it all about? Well, the book follows the life of teenager Cass, who has a very unusual vocation. Just like his dad before him, until he was brutally murdered, Cass kills dead people. Armed with his dad's old athame, I think it's pronounced, Cass and his witch of a mother travel around America, following legends and local folklore and destroying the murderous dead. Yeah. After getting a tip-off of a ghost that locals know as Anna Dressed in Blood, Cass goes on the hunt to kill Anna, and he really expects it to be the usual fight, hunt, kill, not specifically in that order. He really just expects it to be a typical fight. But what he finds in Anna's house is not so typical at all. In fact, it's a girl tangled with rage and deeply cursed. Since the time of her brutal murder, Anna has killed anyone who dares to set foot in her house. Except this time, when Cass comes in, and for some reason she lets him live. I recorded this section a minute ago and then realised, wait, I'm just ever spoiling things for you, so I have to redo. The book is a really interesting concept by itself. I really like the idea of Cass and what Cass does, and he's trying to live up to the standards that his father was this awesome ghost killer, and now he wants to be the same. I really like the folklore in it and the witchcraft, and there's some really interesting secondary characters in it. Cass is a cool character to go on this journey with. I really liked him as a character. We were like book friends by the time we were done. The plot itself, the plot has more to it than obviously what's just described. There's kind of like a secondary story in it too, which I really liked. However, some of the plot is kind of confusing, especially the climax. The ending of it is a bit like, wait, what? There's a lot of kind of voodoo references made in it, which I don't know if they're real references or if they're something Blake made up, but some of it is just kind of like, what is happening here? The dynamic between Anna and Cass starts off in a really interesting and potentially excellent way, but by the time it gets to the end of the book, I was just kind of like, right then. Sometimes when I read books, you guys have probably noticed this, my expectation of something kind of, the book doesn't meet up to it, and then I'm like, well, this is supposed to be like this. Like, for example, when I read the Angel Fall or Penguin and the whatever that's called, End of Days series, the way angels were portrayed in that kind of left me a bit like, this is not what I wanted. And Anna Dressed in Blood was a bit like that. Ghosts were not really, well, no, ghosts were represented really well. It was more Anna's ghosts. I was just kind of like, what? Like, there's this really cool moment in it where Cass kind of first sees Anna for the first time. She comes down the stairs and she like floats down, and it's really like pretty horrifying. But then later on, as Anna's character develops, the kind of ghosty, creepy aspect is gone, and you're just like, okay. The book definitely does have really good parts in it, but sometimes I was a bit let down by things. It kind of leaves me hard to think whether I would recommend it because of this reason. I'm not going to be continuing on with the series. The dynamic ended in a way that I just wasn't interested in, and was just kind of confused by. I'm not going to outrightly recommend it because I think that the fact that I'm kind of, it was alright, would make it unfair for me to recommend it to you. But if you do read it, I would really like to know what you thought, or if you have read it before, because it's not a new book. I thought that it was, but it was seemingly published in 2011, so the series might be over by now. But if you read it and you enjoyed it or had equal thoughts to me, the same, well, it's a great grasp of English, well done me. Just please let me know what you thought. I always love to hear. Yeah. Okay. Grab my goods for coming, and until next time, slán. Wow, that was the worst review I've possibly ever done. It was just, there's no structure. Maybe one day I'll structure, but it just wouldn't be the same if I did, so I probably won't. Slán.